greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Woo, we are here for the One Pride podcast. We talk all things one and the rest thing pride. I am here with a special guest with more guests on this bad boy. It is the Woodward Heavyweights! What's going on, fellas? Oh, my God. What is up? This is the actual debut, folks. We debuted before, but it was a mishap. What's going on, guys?
What up, man? Thanks for having us.
Man, no problem. I'm trying to get you and me both on the same page here real quick so we look good. But just give me 1 second. Are you excited, man? Are you excited? There we go, a little bit
I'm
here.
excited. Big game, man. Big game going forward. This is going to be a big test for Jared Goff. Obviously, this is one of the best defense that the Lions have played this year. Going against the Jets, they've been stellar all year on the defensive side of the ball. They got a lot of playmakers over there. Obviously, Sauce Gardner is a big one. You got Quinnen Williams, who's been questionable all week, but it's looking like he's going to play.
Mark Watt.
Mark Watt he said he swears he's going to play. So we'll see. We'll see. We know Goff has struggled on the road so far this year, and he's going into a hostile environment. Weather is obviously not going to be great, but the way he's been playing these past couple weeks, I expect him to keep that up. I don't expect it to be that much of a factor.
Yeah, and these guys are here, man. They have their takes, and if you don't like it, that's okay. But you don't have to tell them what to do because that's what communist Lions fans do. Telling people what to do, man. We don't do that over here, man. That's over there in Russia, and that's communist
Lions
China.
fans.
We like to have fun over here, man. We like to have fun, and that's what it's all about. We got Weston Lion, Dragon Fan 9 Drinks, and everyone in the building. Spenmo Rax. How'd you get the name? This is a sick name, by the way.
Spenmo Rax. It's
Yeah.
actually my whole name. It's Spencer Morgan Raxter. So Spenmo Rax. It fits. And my dad actually made it for me when I was like real young. I was thinking of an AOL password, like his or AOL username, and his is like DR Rax. My brother's was CD Rax, and he was like, "What about Spenmo Rax?" I was like, "Hey, that's pretty fire. Let's go with that."
Fire. It's fire. Easy.
Perfect strip club, like legend name.
Perfect strip club name, good rapper name.
Yeah. Honestly, dude. Spenmo Rax.
Spenmo Rax up in Magic City, eating the lemon pepper wings, throwing some
Spenmo Rax.
These are the two greatest, I think, show of all time. The two folks on a show. Woodward Heavyweights, they have me laughing my A off every single day. Make sure you guys check them out. They're live actually at 5 o'clock, so here in about, 55 minutes. Speakeasy, man. I got to meet and hang out with you at the Detroit Lions training camp, man. Can you tell a story to the people who don't know about the credit card?
I'll tell it, but like what I don't want to happen is everybody start using it, and then everyone's like, all the security people get onto it, and it's no longer like
a thing.
Yeah, So essentially, it's actually really funny because I wanted to sneak into the VIP access to the training camp, and originally, like sometimes when you go to places, like honest to God, like I did this at the Jake Paul fight too. Like if you walk in somewhere like you belong, like a lot of times, like no one's gonna say anything.
Just walk with confidence.
Yeah, you gotta pretend like you belong there. And I did that earlier in the day, and I brought 2 drinks with me to pretend like I wanted to get a drink. So I had to get back in. So I did 2 things. I dropped an old credit card I keep in my wallet that's like expired, and that way, because I don't have the actual pass to get in, right? So like I could always be like, I swear, dude, I was here earlier. Like that's my credit card. I forgot my credit card. And the other thing I did too, when I came back, I brought the 2 drinks. Like one was for somebody else type ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is for my girl, dude. She's over there. Like, I swear. Like, I want to just, they was walking around with 2 drinks. Like, and then, yeah, so Mike got to experience that because a listener was actually going to hook us both up with VIP anyway, but I missed it earlier in the day. And then I was trying to get in contact with you and Dion, and that's why I ended up going to that VIP section to find you guys. But you guys were on the other part of it. And then Mike ended up coming down to see me, and he was like, how'd you get in here anyway? And I was like, he's like, is this your credit card? And I was like, yeah. And then we went back to the other way to get the extra pass from Dion. That part was cool too. Mike had his pass, and he walked in through security, and I did it. And the guy was like, hey, it was your pass. And I was like, oh, it's in here. I just kept going.
Dude, that was the most epic thing. Your voice in real life can smooth talk anybody, and I think that's why your show is so successful. I think that's why what you guys do over there is so successful, so freaking epic.
Thanks, man.
And hilarious, folks. If you guys are like hilarious, you like fun, if you're watching this live or after the fact, check out Woodward Heavyweights. I'm always in there laughing my 2 points of contact off. We got a big game there. We got a big game, Spenmo Rex, on Sunday, man. We got to face the New York Jets, and they got a tough
New York
defense.
Jets. We've
What
been
are we
breaking
gonna do?
down some of the stats going through. Obviously, the Lions in the past 6 games compared to the Jets in the past 6 games, and what's been going well for the Lions. They've been holding teams to less points. Obviously, beginning of the year, worst defense ever. Letting up 30 points to every team, but now they're tightening it up a little bit, and it seems Dan Campbell fires the right guy at the right time because he fired Aubrey Pleasant, and then immediately the defense is just like, all right, yeah, we know how to play football again. So they're playing well. You've seen the rookies show out, obviously outside of Hutchinson and our boy Malcolm. You got James Houston coming on lately. Kirby Joseph thrown into the fire after Tracy Walker goes down, and he's playing fantastic football. So it's great to see. And what you want to see is consistency. And so far in this 6-game stretch, they've been playing consistent, disciplined, complementary football, and that's how you win games in the NFL. You don't shoot yourself in the foot with penalty. You don't turn the ball over, and you force turnovers, and that's what the Lions have been doing. So it's really great to see, honestly. This defense is playing like defenses we saw in 2014 and different years like that, where they're getting after the quarterback, they're forcing turnovers, and they might get popped for a play here and there, but they're buckling down, and you're not seeing like against the Vikings when they had him at 4th and 6, and then you get an offsides call on the punt, and they moved up to a 4th and 1, and that's the feeling like Lions fans know too well. They're like, oh, we had them, and now it's 4th and 1. They're going to get the first down, then they're going to go score, and then it's going to be over. But no, they stopped them on 4th and 1 in their own territory, which led to a Lions score. So it's like shout out Foxy and Pat McAfee, like the brand new Lions. It's like the feeling is actually there when you feel like the Lions are just going to kick you in the nards, like they actually go out there and make plays to stop the bleeding. So it's great to see.
Yeah, man. The same.
100%.
This is the new Lions, man. This for sure, man. Doing really good over here, man. I absolutely love it. And one part of the new Lions, man, speak easy, is the fact that we're not shooting ourselves in the foot. We are not doing a bunch of flags. The last 6 games, it's been clean football. Some we're not used to seeing. Now, last week we had a little bit of issues in quarter 1, but other than that, we've been really good. Now, is that a testament to our coaching staff? Can we replicate this success again on Sunday versus the Jets?
I think it's a big test for it, right? Because like this is one of those games, and like you asked, is it a testament to our coaching? Hell yeah, it is. Especially if you consider the fact that this is the youngest team in the league right now, and especially the youngest defense. Like for Dan Campbell, AG, and maybe Ben Johnson too. I'll give him some credit as well, which you got to give him credit offensively for sure. But like to have these young guys like disciplined enough to come into these games and execute these moments, like starting out 1-6, you got to think about like the mentality in that situation. Like I actually had a conversation with Aleem McNeil at the Pistons game the other night, and he was like, we were like in the same like disbelief you guys are, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Because that 1-6 is like you're kind of like, damn, like not another one, like not another bad season. But for Dan to keep these guys bought in, to enough to keep believing in the game plan and the players themselves, like they're believing in each other too. Like I think that's a testament to the coaching for sure. And then the thing you brought up too, the turnovers both ways. When we were losing games, we weren't getting turnovers on defense. And guess who was turning the ball over is Jared Goff. Now, the past 6 games, that hasn't been the case. Jared Goff has kept the ball clean. He's not throwing any interceptions. He's not fumbling back there. And then the same vice versa to the defense is getting the ball back from the opponents. And it's been beautiful.
Devin Davis, Super Chat of $5 says, how many games do we have to win and who has to lose for us to make the playoffs? Big game today, Spenmo Rax. You got the 49ers, Seattle Seahawks. We're all 49ers
big
fans
game
today, right?
You need the Niners to go out there and beat the Seahawks.
Brock Purdy's questionable,
Purdy's questionable. I don't know. They're picking quarterbacks off of the street now in San Francisco, and Kyle Shanahan has them playing like contenders no matter who they are. So you're chasing, obviously, the Seahawks, the Giants, and the Commanders. Coming into this week, the Lions were at about a 20% chance to make the playoffs. If the Lions win versus the Jets, if the 49ers beat the Seahawks and the Commanders beat the Giants, the Lions' playoff chances jump to 50%. So those 3 factors just this week gives you over 30% difference in playoff odds. Those are the teams you're chasing. The thing that hurt you the most was the tie between the Commanders and the Giants, because now when you're looking at the playoff rankings and you're looking at all that, you look at the loss column, and the Lions now don't have that tiebreaker that they held from beating the Commanders and beating the Giants because they have a tie. So if things go bad, the Lions' loss column will not match them because of that tie. And that could be something that will come to bite you in the ass at the end of the day. Yep. But all the Lions can do is focus on winning every week. You win out, you control your own destiny. If you win, you win, you win. It's hard to keep them out. If they have 10 wins at the end of the season, it's hard to keep them out of the playoffs. The Lions' strength of schedule remaining is one of the easiest in the leagues, and the rest of the teams that they're going against are 3 of the 10 hardest schedules remaining in the league. So you got to think they're going to lose some of those games. You got to think they're going to stumble a little bit while the Lions are peaking right now. And if they win this game, even before last week, I said this Jets game is the hardest remaining on their schedule because you had the Vikings, who were frauds, at home. Lions, easy dub. That was my lock of the week. I was saying it all week. This guy owes me a pizza for it. You have the Jets game at the Jets, tough. That's going to be a tough one in the elements. Jets are a good team. Then you got Carolina. It's, they've been playing a decent lately, but it's still Carolina. They're still a bad team. And then the Aaron Rodgers COVID toe Packers and the Bears, who are both teams that you've beat already, and both teams that don't look like they're going to pose any threats to beating the Lions. So it's all about just winning to control your own destiny.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's all about being master beaters, right? You got to be able to beat everybody that's on
Gotta love master beaters, man. It's something I think about almost every night.
Spenmo Rax loves master beaters. So do I. So does Dan Campbell. Speakeasy, do we make the playoffs in your opinion? Will we become master beaters and just kind of win out here?
Why do I get the hard question? Jeez.
Mike's throwing me softballs. He's giving you 90 miles an hour down the middle.
Do Detroit Lions make the playoffs? If they win this Sunday, yes.
You heard it here first, folks.
If they win this Sunday,
Lions will make the playoffs.
I want to say this real quick too. And I've thought both sides of it, actually. But initially, I was looking at the Jets situation. We went over a couple of the quarterbacks. They have 7 wins in the season, right? 5 of those wins come from Skylar Thompson.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Trevor Siemian.
He's all right.
Brett Ripken.
Brett Ripken, yeah.
Who's the other guy? There's
Cal Ripken's bastard son, Brett Ripken.
Yeah. Actually, it says I don't remember there's 3 other names. I'm sorry, 2 other names on that list too. Garbage quarterbacks, like they're backups.
Yeah.
All of them are backups. Yeah. So like I get that, and I'm not discrediting the defense too, because they did have 2 phenomenal performances against Josh Allen. They did play really well against Aaron Rodgers, had a broken thumb. But like if you I always say context matters. If you break this down a little bit, this Jets defense might be susceptible to getting that ass spanked by the Detroit Lions this Sunday. I'm just saying. But at the same time, I do want to preface this. I don't want to get anybody too excited because obviously Jared Goff come from the NFC West. With the LA Rams. The LA Rams would play the San Francisco 49ers twice a year, where Rob Saleh, you guys know the story. Kyle Shanahan owns Sean I can't say his name right now. McVay. I want to say McAvey for some reason. And part of that was defensive coordinator Rob Saleh, who is now the head coach of the New York Jets. So that is one thing to keep in mind. I don't want to for sure say that the Lions offense will take advantage of the Jets, but given the context, the Jets defense, they've played some booty quarterbacks. So some of those numbers are fluffed up a little bit.
I just think you look at the Jets defense, and when they've
been, susceptible to losses, it's because teams have run the ball on them. And the one thing the Lions have that will travel and go anywhere are those dogs up front, the big uglies.
That offensive line, just those guys will go anywhere, and especially in the cold. Easy said they're playing in the Netherlands, the Meadowlands. It's these guys.
It was one mistake.
Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Evan Brown's been practicing again this week. Like, these guys transfer. Running game, physicality. These eyes crying. Offensive line. These eyes have moved a lot of balls, but you never see another one like I did with the Jets. But I expect that offensive line to get back to the roots. They're going to mash people.
Yes.
And I understand Quinnen Williams, one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. Bless you. Thank you. That Quinnen Williams, he's going to play a factor, but he hasn't gone up against a Frank Ragnow yet this year. Well, and their outside guys haven't gone up against a Penei Sewell yet this year. And Penei Sewell is coming off of an elite receiving performance.
He's hyped right now.
So I expect them,
revisiting the Jamar Chase versus Penei Sewell conversation.
Yeah, I expect them to go out there and establish that run with Jamal Williams, with a healthy DeAndre Swift, with Justin Jackson, who's looked good all year, basically. And he obviously had that big touchdown against the Vikings, but run game transfers. Run game goes with you.
Yeah.
And the Lions' offensive line is a top 2 unit in the NFL. So
two things that travel: defense and run game.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, because I know you guys got to get prepped for your show at 5 o'clock, Heavyweights, greatest show there is on YouTube. Point blank period. I just got a quick question to Spenmo.
Next to yours.
Spenmo, does people ever confuse you for Bigfoot?
For Bigfoot?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been in the same room as him before. We have similar diets. I'm a big.
How do you know what he eats?
No, I don't know.
He eats ass.
I don't know what he eats. We do eat ass. I mean, he does eat ass, but I've never been in the same room as him before. I have seen people camping outside of my house trying to take pictures, but it might be something else. I do shower with the blinds open, so it might be something like that.
Can I tell him about your celebrity lookalike or no?
I can't say that too. I live across the street from middle school, so I shouldn't say that. But it's I don't know. I can't deny or accept those accusations.
Can I tell him
All
your
right,
real
quick
celebrity
question,
lookalike?
easy man. Score prediction for the game. I'll let you guys get ready for your show. I'll be watching it here in about 42 minutes.
All right, this may not happen, so don't be. Oh man,
I'll go first.
I'm really indecisive.
He's tiptoeing around.
24-12 Lions.
Love it.
Weird score.
24-12. That is a weird score.
You're a weird score.
I've been all in on the Lions for the past 3 weeks now, and I'm not going off of it. I'm all in on Dan Campbell. It's because I look like a lion, but I'm gonna go 28-17 Lions.
Oh man. Hey, appreciate guys getting on here, folks. Again, check out Woodward Heavyweights. I'm in the show every single day listening. I may not comment every single time because, honestly, man, I pulled my fingernail off, and it made me a little difficult for typing. But these guys are the best, man.
I might have to go find them.
Yeah, definitely, man. It works.
Thanks, Mike. Looking forward to have you here in studio in person one of these days.
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Mike.
man. I got to meet Spenmo, man. I've never met him in person. I met Easy. Can't wait to do it, man. I can't wait. We're going to have a Jets pizza.
He smells weird.
Facts. I smell good.
That's really good, man. I need to smell you.
See you later, Mike.
Appreciate it, guys. We're going to continue on here. Appreciate the heavyweights getting on here. Talk about the Detroit Lions versus the Jets, man. Big game here. I know my guy here from Roar and Lions UK will get on when he's done from his show, and then we will talk some football from that perspective, but he's not ready yet. Why? Because he's doing his own show. But we got a big game on Sunday. The defense of the Jets, if you've seen my video, is really good. They are probably top 3 defense in the NFL. You can go up there with the San Francisco 49ers, and the Jets is right there. Points allowed per game, 5th in the NFL. Yards allowed per game, 3rd in the NFL. We got passing yards per game, 4th. Rushing yards, 13th. These guys can get it done. And the Detroit Lions offense and Ben Johnson's got some work to do. They got to be able to figure a way to score on these guys. Let me know in the comments section, do you think the Lions are going to win this game? Put L for Lions, put J for Jets. I do believe the Detroit Lions win this game, but it's not going to be easy. It's not a give me at all. And, they have the ability to continue to score, and that's one of those things. I think for the Lions, they're going to have to use players that we generally don't use all the time, right? We're going to have to use players that are role players. I'd like to see a lot of Josh Reynolds in this game, get some Brock Wright in this game, get some players that you generally don't see, not just amon-ra first down, because they got a great defense, and we got to be able to spread the football around with Jared Goff, Ben Johnson getting it done. Here, right now, we got Philip. He says the Jets. John Ball says Detroit 24-17, Lions 24-13, Jets 24-18, Lions by Chrome. We got Lions Jespe, Lions Brenton, Jets 29-0. Philip C, that's not gonna. Well, I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible. I just don't see that happening. 31-20, Frog Crop. Got the Leos. What's all these L Jets fans for? Hey, Jets fans are always welcome in here. If you are a Jets fan, if you got a question here in, 8 minutes, that's not even related to the Detroit Lions, let me know. We do the mailbag segment. We talk anything. So you put a hashtag in there. We get it done from my end, and we talk football. That's what we do. So for sure, get those questions ready. The Detroit Lions offense, I do believe, have the ability to get above the average score, and that is 19 for the Jets. I think they'll get above that, but I don't believe they're going to get to the 30 points. I just don't. I think that the Jets' defense is just way too good for that, and that's perfectly fine. As long as you get a win, I could care less what the score is. Lions defense playing a lot better as of late. It is playing better. Now, it's still low when you look at statistics. If you look at ESPN, the stats are still low. The Lions defense, 31st points allowed per game, 31st yards allowed per game, passing 30th, rushing 26th. It is risen, though, from 32 across the board. That's what it was. Why? Because the last 6 weeks, the Lions defense has played better. Jets offense, points per game, that's 20.3. 22nd in the NFL, total yards per game allowed on their offense, 336.8, 19th. Passing, 25th, 20th. Rushing, turnovers, -2. That's 21st. Lions are +2. That's 8th in the NFL. So I think we're having a interesting matchup in this game. Will Mike White play? I do think he does play. He is a hardcore quarterback. He can take a punishment. He can get it done. I think that's going to help their offense out for sure. If not, I do believe Joe Flacco would be to go. Let me know if you're a Jets fan if that's correct. I'm pretty sure Zach Wilson is your number 3, as I know right now. So you really want to have Mike White play because he's better and he's not a statue, unlike what you have currently right now with Mike White. He'll be best. I'll be listening, Mike, with the broadcast on. Thank you so much, Philip C. I do believe you're a Jets fan, correct? Just let me know. I do appreciate all fans coming in here. What's the forecast for the game? Is last that I heard, if you're in the New York area, let me know if it's different. 37 degrees. That's going to be it. I don't think it's going to be snowing or anything like that. And we got my guy, Ant-Man. Roar to Lions UK. What's up, Ant-Man?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great now. I got the guy who is the hardest worker on YouTube. This guy is rising in the YouTube power rankings. He's up there. I tell you what, Ant-Man 3 is no joke. Ant-Man 3, the movie coming out, and Ant-Man is part of it. So I can't wait to watch that. Big game, Ant-Man, on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is the real test of our credentials, isn't it? If we want to get to the playoffs, you are coming up against one of the premier defenses in the NFL. We all know how good a guy Robert Saleh is when it comes to creating his defenses. He's bought exactly what he had over with the 49ers. You have a front four that needs no help. It does all the work for you. You've got depth in there. 9 of their top 10 guys in the sack counts are DTs or edges. They don't blitz with linebackers. They don't blitz with corners. They do the damage through the front four. The linebackers sit there ready to work against the run if you try and breach them, and the corners sit there waiting to pick the ball through the air when a quarterback's making an errant throw because he's under pressure. That's what Salad does. He's worked with Shannon. He knows everything in the book about running the football. So it's a very tough assignment you've got to come up. You've really got to dig deep into the playbook this weekend, and you have really got to be ready for a fight with these guys because, like you say, he will have them ready for this. So this is a test of just how good Detroit's offense can be, and I am looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people just dogging on Zach Wilson. I don't know what happened there, but it's not looking good for him as a quarterback for the long-term future. It just isn't, but thankfully you do got a Mike White out there that can't hold the fort down. And again, I'm not 100% sure if he plays. I keep hearing different information. What about the Jets offense, Ant-Man? What do you think that's something that we got to pay attention to? Obviously, Mike White at the quarterback situation, who plays is a big part of it.
So they have really good skilled players whom I admire a lot. Obviously, Zonovan Knight in the backfield, he's an NC State guy. I'm a Wolfpack fan, really, myself. I watched a lot of him in college. I was very impressed with him. Surprised he went undrafted, but he sort of hit the scene with a bang since Breece Hall has been injured. Michael Carter, he was another favorite of mine. Him and Javonte Williams at UNC was such a deadly pair in there. He's a great dual threat ability guy. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. If you don't respect them and you let them get on top of you, then they can take a game away from you. In the receiver core, I called Garrett Wilson as the best receiver in the draft last year. I truly believed he was. I still believe he is, even though Olave is having an amazing season. I think he hits you on all 3 levels, and that's the most dangerous type of receiver you can come up against, a guy who can do multiple things at multiple levels of the field against you. You have Corey Davis in there. You have Elijah Moore. You have a host of weapons who, if the quarterback has time to throw at them, and if the offensive line can help them run the football, they're going to be very dangerous, but that's where it all falls apart. The offense is only as good as its offensive line. You can have all the skilled players you want in the world, but if that line is not good, then the rest falls apart. We've seen the Lions. We've had the line, and it's kind of elevated everybody with it, and now we're healthy, but the offensive line's bad. They're missing 2 of their best guys to injury. Vera Tucker's been great. You're missing the left tackle, Becton's, who's not there. And it causes, that offense to just fall to bits. There's too much pressure on the quarterback. The running backs don't have a lot of room to work with. They're not the greatest rushing offense going. So while I respect the skilled players, I don't respect the offense because those at the most vital positions are not that good. So I think you've just got to respect them. But I think our D-line is way too good and is going to cause too many issues for them on the day to land a lot of points on us. And you've seen it through the season. They're a low-scoring offense. They slug it out in low-score games, and they lean all the way on that defense to give the offense a chance just to put up a few points and give them a chance of winning. And I just think they're coming up against a team they're not ready for. We've just had a few guys on with us on our pod. I don't think they respect us, and I think they're going to be in for a very rude awakening against us this week.
I think that's what this year's all about. There's a lot of disrespect that's been coming towards Detroit, deservedly so, for the last couple of years, last couple of decades. We'll put it there. And, for us to get, if we want that respect, then we got to go out there and get it. I think that's just the way it is, So for us to get that respect for the Jets, we got to go out there and beat them in the Meadowlands. And you do that, I think that's how you get respect, right? That's exactly what you do here if you are a Lions football team. Before we get to the mailbag and let the subscribers run the show, I got a question for you, Ant-Man. Who wins the game, score prediction, and why?
The Detroit Lions win this game 27-24. I think it'll be a tight one. But why? One, I think our defense will give them nightmares. I think it's going to be very tough for them to put up points, but you're at home. You do have a bit of the fanfare behind you. They have won games. I think they'll score some, but I think for the most part we'll keep them in check. As for our offense, they're sat on a pedestal behind that defense thinking it wins them games and that'll be enough for them. I don't think they realize what kind of offense they're coming up against with us. People saying our run game's been bad recently. Well, the Jags and the Vikings, for whatever reason, stack the box against us when they've got ass secondaries. And we threw all over them. One-on-one, JMO, Chark, eating. We didn't need to run the ball. We just threw the ball on some bad secondaries. And I think it's lulled some people into a sense of security going, oh, actually, they can't run the football. The Jets aren't going to stack the box against us because, like I say, that front four does all the work for them. I think our offensive line is really good. I think it's going to carve open rushing lanes. And then when you get into the linebackers, when you get into the secondary, even if you don't get there, if you put yourself in short yardage situations, we've then got Amon-Ra who you can put in there. And the big weakness on that defense is its coverage with its linebackers. What does Amon-Ra do better than any receiver in the NFL? He gets into the linebackers. He picks on them. He matches up against them, gets the yardage in there. And I don't think you need to expose yourself to that secondary of theirs. I just think we're so diverse. The wide receivers block, the tight ends block. Everybody blocks in unison in our run game. And I think teams have forgotten that we do that just because we've come up against bad secondaries and been able to throw on them. And when you collapse that defensive line for the Jets, that elite defense starts to fall like a house of cards. It's all built around that front four. Beat them, you make inroads into the defense and score points. The Bills have an elite defense. We put up nearly 30 on them. So we can do it. And we have the personnel to do it, and we're fully healthy. So I think we win this game because we're better.
I have the Lions winning this game as well. For sure, 24-21. It's going to be a tough game. Generally, we put 30 points on people. I think we'll get a little bit under that because the Jets' defense is so good. It's on the road. The fan base over there is going to be really loud in the Meadowlands. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun game. And if the Lions win on Sunday and if the 49ers win tonight, we're looking pretty good to make the playoffs. Let me know in the comment section, are you ready for the mailbag segment? If so, put in a hashtag Lions. Put a hashtag Communist Lions fan. Put a hashtag, I don't know, smashed a hole. Anything that will get my attention, I will pick the comment up, and we will go ahead and answer it. Right now, mailbag segment. Perfect time, man. Right now is perfect time to get these questions answered. And again, you can talk anything you want. You can talk about draft. You can talk about free agency. You can talk about the game. You can talk about the next game. It doesn't matter. You guys rule the show. And if I miss your question, it's not because I'm being a prick. It's because I missed it. Just copy, paste it, put it back in the comment section. I will see it and click on it at some point. Hashtag win out. Do you think we win out?
Ooh. If we win this one, then yes. I think this is like the big test of our credentials. Nope, against teams coming up, but I think we can if we win this. Big road win this would be.
Hashtag smash the mom in honor of Zach Wilson.
Do you like that? I put that in.
Oh, that may be the best one right there. I want to say in honor of Ant-Man right there. Hashtag Lions. I think we have to run the ball with a big interior defensive lineman out. Yeah, if he's out, I'm not sure if Quentin Williams is out officially, but hell yeah, we got to run the football. There's no matter what. This game, we definitely got to run the football, and I'm confident if we do, we will run the football. Do you think that we got to run in this game?
Yeah, because like I said, I think the Achilles heel of this defense are those linebackers in coverage. So if you can run yourself into a situation, short yardage, where you can get the ball out quick, get the mismatches there, you will get the yardage to get you down the field without exposing yourself to the elite parts of that defense. So I think you absolutely have to. And like I say, the Jets won't stack the box against us because they trust that front four to do the job for them. So I think we've got to start quick. I think you start quick, you hit them hard, and they're like, oh, Christ, we've got to, put some panic in there. And they can't just come up against us because we've got deep threats now. So you've got to spread the defense. So absolutely run it on them.
John Ball smashed the hole. Swift 12 runs, 6 to 8 targets. I'll go 15 runs, and I'll go the same amount of targets. I think they're going to be throwing to him quite a bit in this game. I think you're going to have to spread the football around. This is not a one-player game. This is not just a couple wide receivers. I think we got to spread around quite a bit, and I think we'll have an opportunity to do that. Do you think this is the game that Swift goes off again? I'm not sure off. I would hope so. This could be probably the most potential game at him to go off. I'll say the most potential. I don't know if it will be. What do you think, man?
I think it's set up to be because, again, like I've just said, their linebackers in coverage struggle. So I'd be lining Swift up in the slot quite a bit and exposing that mismatch in the middle. And I'd have amon-ra in there as well. You put those two guys in, there's going to be a lot of trouble for them to deal with because they're run blocking guys, really. They ain't pass coverage guys. So that's where the weaknesses are. And I think with the way we find the weaknesses and the mismatches and all that, I think Swift will get a lot more receptions than he will runs. It feels like a Jamal game to run the ball, the heavy set, nose down, head down, breaking out those big yards you need. I think Jamal will run it and Swift will catch it.
Jim and Dennis, listening to Jets podcast, their favorite talking point is the Lions have historically bad defense. Do you think our defense is good enough to keep them under 20 points? I think it'll be just under or just over 20 points. That's what I have there. But I don't care about historical records. I gotta tell you this. I've seen a couple comments in my comments.
They're not watching.
I don't care. I don't care what happened last year. I don't care what happened 20 years ago for the Detroit Lions regarding statistics. It means absolutely nothing this year. We got a whole different team, a whole different coaching staff, a whole different regime. I don't care. It's just something that you got to beat eventually, winning a playoff game. But historic this, historic that, it doesn't bother me. I don't care what happened in the past. I don't.
They're not watching us. They're not watching. And this is the thing. We're not a historically bad defense full of vets who have been historically bad. We are a bad defense because we've got a lot of young guys in there, young guys who are learning. And what you don't realize is that's not historically bad. That's just rookies being rookies. And if you watch this defense over the last 6 weeks, it's rookies are making plays now. They're battle-hardened. They're confident. They're full of belief in themselves. And that is a very dangerous defense. So you go ahead and read the stats. We see what's happening on the field. It's a load of young guys getting better, not a load of vet guys playing trash. There's a massive difference between the two.
Yeah, I don't care about again historical record. It's like, well, I could just say, well, you had Mark Sanchez a couple years ago. Are you gonna butt fumble again? What the hell does that have that game or that era have to do with now for Jets football? Completely different. This team is sound, and I just don't care. I just don't care about historical facts. Jared Port says, "Are you worried about Jared Goff's ability outside in the cold weather?" No, I think I go game by game. I'm not going to say, oh, he's just awful in outside or cold weather. It's just I go game by game. That's it. Does he play better probably inside of a dome and then in outside? Yeah, I'm sure many quarterbacks do that, in all honesty. I mean, you don't got a wind. You don't got garbage weather. It's completely nice for you. So I'm not worried if he plays a bad game. Does it mean that it's because it's outside? Probably means just the fact that the Jets defense is that damn good. I mean, I think that has more to do with it. Are you worried about it?
No, he's been to MetLife and won already this year. I mean, the run game complemented him, but no turnovers, steady with the ball, did what he needed to do on the day. He's been there and done that already, and because it's a few degrees colder doesn't mean he's going to be worse for it. He's probably the most informed quarterback in the league. I don't think it's out of fair to say. I don't think he's going to fear it. Not at all.
I think that fear idea, well, you come from California and all this. They said the same thing about many quarterbacks. Does it really matter? No, I don't think so. And 37 degrees is actually perfect football weather for anybody. I mean, these guys are running around, and their body heats are ramming up, so I'm not worried about it. Now, if it's a snowstorm like we had with Philadelphia with Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford with chunks of freaking snow in the helmet, that's a little bit different. But I don't even think it's going to be that bad outside. And guess what? If it is, you just run the football more, in which we can do. So I'm not too worried about it. #OnePride, do you guys think that JMO gets 100 yards Sunday? No, I do not think he gets 100 yards Sunday. slowly bringing him in on the offense, and you're going against a great defense. What do you think, though, Ant-Man?
I can't see it happening unless we really, really stick it to them in the run and force them to stack up against us and get J-Mo one-on-one with guys at the back. I think that's the only way that happens. But, I mean, J-Mo, people talk about Sauce being the best corner in the league and that. People forget J-Mo rinsed him in the playoffs last year in college football. He had a really good day against him. I don't think Sauce is going to have dealt with someone of his speed before. He is one of the quickest guys out there. He's in form. Yeah. I don't think he'll get 100, but I think he'll do well.
And you know what's funny? Because who would actually be guarding J-Mo? You got so many weapons on this offense. They're probably a little bit more worried about amon-ra, St. Brown, DJ Chark as of recently, and Josh Reynolds. So you could get a favorable matchup with Jameson Williams.
Exactly. You've got to put a linebacker on someone.
Yeah. Well, put a linebacker on Jameson Williams. God, please do that. Please, if there is a God, in which I do believe there is, please put a linebacker on Jameson Williams. I would love to see more touchdowns. Dragon fans says, hashtag will Goff have his own butt fumble in this game? I think butt fumble is extremely rare. So, no, I don't think so. I've only seen one butt fumble, and that was a Thanksgiving Day game with the Sanchez. But if it ever happens, I hope that somehow we recover the football and score a touchdown, like the Patriots did. That's what I like to see. Eric Minion, hashtag Go Lions. Can Hutch get 2 sacks and Kirby Joseph get an interception? Get an interception to 4 interceptions? Yeah, you could see that for sure. I mean, Mike White is not the greatest quarterback in the world. He's just like any other quarterback. Throw interceptions as well. And if you get defensive pressure, you can do it. Why can't Hutch get a sack? Why can't he get 2 sacks? He should have had probably 2 in this last game, but they credit him for 1. What do you think there, Ant-Man?
I think it's possible. I think our D-line's just it's stacked at the minute, and it can rotate in and out, so it's always fresh. And I just don't think that offensive line's very good. It's missing its 2 best players, and the rest behind it, outside of the center, are pretty poor. So you would expect with the guys, the options on there, especially with Houston being in such form at the minute, he's going to need to command attention. So I can fully see Hutch getting the sacks and Kirby getting the picks because, White's a gunslinger. He likes to throw the ball around, and he's okay at it. But there will be opportunities there for sure with the amount of pressure he's under.
Lions Mania, hashtag Lions, you still want to draft the quarterback. McShay has us drafting Stroud. I always believe BPA, and right now it's sitting at 4. Bryson's not going to be there. And CJ Stroud scares me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. He's not a mobile quarterback. Will Levis scares the hell out of me. I'm not going to take a quarterback at 4. I'm going to take BPA, and I don't think C.J. Stroud and Will Levis are the 4th best player in this year's draft. That's my personal opinion. Would I draft quarterback if there's one that's at the right spot? Yeah, I think you definitely. Look, if you look at what other teams like a Brock Purdy for the San Francisco 49ers, they draft a quarterback, you can use them. Do you trust our backup right now to be, what happens if Jared Goff goes down 4 games next year? I'd rather probably have a guy a little bit more talented than we have right now in Sudfeld. So if there's one in the right position, yes, but I'm not forcing any position. I will not force it. But if there is a right quarterback in the right round, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, you feel like, man, this guy's fallen. I think he fits our system. I think we can groom him. They could be a decent backup. Yes. What do you got, Ant-Man?
I'm with you, Mike. If we want to draft a starter, it's got to be Bryce Young. He's not going to be there. So for me, I've completely soured on a lot of this quarterback class. The only guy I'd be willing to do it for now is if Cameron Ward's knocking around later on, because I see him as a great upside developmental guy, incredibly high ceiling, and I would sit him and train him whilst I get Goff here at this minute in time. And I'd only do it if he was there, say, round 2. But at this point in the first round, I've lost all interest in a quarterback.
Got my guy, Ghost of Judah Tribe. He's a friend of mine here with a $2 super chat. Everybody knows who Ghost of Judah Tribe is. He says, look forward to knocking you out of contention January 1st. Hey, I look forward to beating you on January 1st. Oh man, I think look, you're coming to Detroit. Come on, man. You guys, you don't even let's be honest here, Ghost. You don't want to win another game. You want to have that second pick in the draft or that third pick and be able to secure Jalen Carter or Will Anderson.
Oh wait, is that a Bears fan?
Yes, that's
Is that a
Bears
Bears fan?
Oh, buddy of mine.
Oh,
We go way back.
knocking us
here.
out of it. You know what? We win either way in that game. Either we beat them and we maybe get a little closer to the playoffs, or they beat us and they lose that coveted draft pick they want so much. So we can't lose in that game. But why would you go defense again? You've got God as your quarterback. Give him some weapons, but they won't.
They could, but I think if you sit at 2 or 3, you got to take Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. I mean, they're just the best players on the board. I mean, look, if they go wide receiver at 2 and one of those guys get pushed up at 4, I will say thank you to the Chicago Bears live on a stream because I want one of those guys really bad. I think
I'd
there's
be more
3
concerned
blue
if they went
chippers and it
receiver.
falls off a little bit after that.
I'd be more concerned if they went receiver and actually acted like they cared about Justin Fields. That's where I'd be more concerned.
I get it, man. I get it. I totally get it. I just want one of those guys. Let's be honest here. I hope they go offensive line, wide receiver. I just want one of those guys. Hashtag will 20 points get us the win this week? I don't think so. I think you're going to have to get a little bit over 20 points in this game. Like I said, I got 27-24. I think the Jets can put up 24 points. Their offense is not just complete garbage or anything like that. Now, if Zach Wilson's their quarterback, it's definitely a lot worse. But Mike White looks to be the guy, and he looks to be the one getting it done. Do you have Seattle losing tonight against Purdy? Hell yeah, I do. San Francisco 49ers defense is scary. It's not Purdy who I'd say, oh, you got to look out for. It's that defense. Good God, they got a good defense there. And, yes, I think Seattle's kind of...
But Seattle have had the 49ers number for years. If you check that recent head-to-head record, I reckon they probably won 8 or 9 of the last 10. They just seem to find a way to keep beating them. You know, when you have that bogey team, you can never beat.
Depends where we fall in the Rams pick and if others trade up for a player. Yeah, 100%. And I'm looking. We got 4 games left to see what we're going to get with that Rams pick. I'm just intrigued as I am going to the playoffs. Why? Because I love the draft. I love talking prospects, and same as the Roar of the Lions UK. That's why you need to subscribe to Roar of the Lions UK. You got my guy Ant-Man right there. They bring ridiculous content, and they do talk about prospects. They do talk about college, and it's more important to understand that because that could be your future players, and that's why I love on my channel as well. That's why I love having Ant-Man on here. Very similar, even with hairstyle. And guess what? It's not that much of a hair on our head. Let's see. Fantasy football question. Would you keep Seattle defense or would you drop them for Washington defense? I would go ahead and I would drop them for Washington defense. I would. I'm not the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not too high on their defense, and I know they're going against San Francisco 49ers who can't put up points. It doesn't even matter who the quarterback is, it seems like. They can put up points, and I think Washington and Giants is going to be a good game, be a powerhouse, both defense. Well, powerhouse with the Washington Commanders defense, and I don't know if Chase Young's playing or not. If he is, it's going to give you some more points, too. He may finally play. We'll see on there. Sauce Gardner or Amon-Ra St. Brown? I'll take, in the matchup, I'll take amon-ra, not because Sauce Gardner is bad, because I don't know if Sauce Gardner's going to be on him the whole time. I don't think that's going to be the case. What do you got?
Sauce is an outside corner. Sauce is an outside corner, and Amon-Ra does a lot of his work down the middle of the field. So I think it'll be one of Chark or Jameson against him.
Chark or Jameson, yep. Completely agree with you there. $5. Go Lions. Thank you so much, Eric Minion. If the Rams pick stays at 4 and Young, Carter, Anderson are off the board, who do y'all think will trade back? Do you think someone I think trade up. Someone would trade up. We could trade back. Carolina Panthers, they're going to want a quarterback. They're going to be eager to get one. Atlanta Falcons may be eager to get a quarterback if Desmond Ritter's not the guy, and they give him 4 more chances. You got the Indianapolis Colts. There's teams that's going to want a quarterback, and they'll jump up to get it, even if it's over, it's a little bit pricey for them because they need it. They're not going to want Matt Ryan. That's if one of those guys are there. They could just jump up to number 2. But I'm fine with trading back. If those guys are gone and I'm sitting at 4, if I trade back a couple spots, yeah, I'll do it. Because I think there's a couple players. They're all similar, grades with each other. What do you think there, man?
I don't know, because I'd still take Miles Murphy at that point.
I love Murphy.
Quite happily. I think, yeah, people seem to have just soured on the Breesy. I want nothing to do with because he had the ACL injury history. But Miles Murphy is a genuine, legitimate game wrecker on that defensive line. So if you miss Carter, I mean, that Clemson defense has been elite for years and years and years, and it produces so much talent. So I'd stay put for Murphy personally. I think we're at the point now. We need blue chip prospects. So you got Penei Sewell high, you got Aidan Hutchinson high. Keep loading yourself up with blue chip prospects because you've still got another first you can trade. You've got multiple seconds. You've got a third. You've got a fourth where we hit high. I just carry on adding the blue chips for me. I think 2 first round picks is enough.
For me. Miles Murphy is a G. That if I was to stay at 4, there's no trade back. That's exactly who I'd take at the 4th pick. I agree with you fully. And if that's what they said, you know what? We don't believe. If we trade back a couple spots and another team could take him, I'll just stay there and just take it. Just like they almost traded up for Penei Sewell. So just sit back, take Miles Murphy. If there's no trade, I think that would be the option I would do for sure. I think you pair him up with Aidan Hutchinson, and we're talking about quarterback sacks. I mean, now no one can just double team Aidan Hutchinson every single time because if you do, well, guess what's coming at you? You're a bad asset.
And you've got a mid-teens pick. And think of where all the trades happened last year. I think pretty much 12 through 16, all trades. There's still value to be had there. Get your blue chip guy or your really high experience guy with your top one. That's why you've got the 2nd first round pick to start playing around and getting yourself a few other picks there. But don't pass up on the talent if it's there. That's personally what I would do.
Did you see Rob Ninkovich predict the Lions to put up 30 points on the Jets? I did not see that. That's a lot of points on this team. Is it possible? Yeah, I mean, our offense is an elite offense. I think all around, top 5 offense. Ain't nobody want no part of it. So could they? Yeah. Will they? I still have my doubts. I just think the defense is so good. Would you trade down to get a first-round pick next year? I love this question, Alan Dana. And I was thinking about this. I think this week I was thinking about this. If you had an opportunity, just like we did, I mean, literally, you look at a Rams pick there, Ant-Man. It looks like we're having a top 5 draft pick. Say a team like, I don't know, Atlanta or Carolina or Indianapolis, when you think, man, this team's not going to be good next year. Would you trade back to get their first-round pick next year, knowing there's a good chance to be a top 10 draft pick?
See, I hate kicking draft picks down the can. I'm not a big fan of it unless I'm getting crazy good value and I'm still getting a first this year as well. I hate kicking draft picks down the can personally. For me, this is a very good defensive first round this year. There's a ton of defensive talent to be had, and I think with us having 2 picks here and us just needing to carry on upgrading that defense, I feel let's get it while the talent's there. That is my personal opinion. I hate kicking picks down the line. So no, I wouldn't. I would spend it on 2 incredibly good defensive players this year to add to my already great crop of talent and just really load this team up now. That's what I'd do.
I would consider it. I would consider it if you get something else this year, maybe their 2nd round pick or something like that. I would consider it because they're going to entice the hell out of me. Just because, like, if you see right now, we got the Rams pick. But I get both sides of the story of not doing it and doing it because just like you said, you can get a player right now, and this team's probably ready to kick down the NFC North, next year. We're going to actually be competing for it. So I totally
and just
totally
look
understand.
at And just looking at the thing, you said the Falcons might have a high draft pick, but you've got to look at the wider implications of the NFL. They're in a shite division. So it's not inconceivable that it's still a bad division next year, and it could backfire on you as well. So for me, take it while you've got it.
Al John says, do you think the Lions' end around or reverse by Jameson Williams would work against the Jets' defense? I think the Lions should use him thus way. So we do a jet sweep against the Jets' defense. Hell yeah, dude. I'm sure they'll try that a couple times in this game. Will they do it with Jameson Williams? Probably not. They'd probably do it with the Khalif Raymond or amon-ra St. Brown because of the injury. That's my thought because we haven't seen it yet. They could. But we've just seen those two in particular do those jet sweeps for the Lions. Somebody had in here about Roquan Smith. Would you get Roquan Smith in free agency? I'm trying to find. Here we go. Hashtag F the Green Bay Packers. I like it. Guys, you think we should go for Roquan Smith? I do. Hell yeah. I mean, that's my personal opinion, depending on the cost. Everything's cost related. But I want to.
We don't have the money. We don't have the money.
That's cost relate. If you could do it for cost relation, that's not going to kill you. Would you do it?
I mean, you know me, Mike. I love a good linebacker, so of course I would. But we don't have the cap next year to do it. Is all I'm going to say. It's very tight again next year, so I don't think it will happen. But I would if I could find a way to cost it. Of course, I would. Roquan, Rodrigo, Barnes. Yeah, I mean, no. Even with the cuts, it's kind of we're still in a bit of a bind next year. I mean, you got 2 high draft picks. The contracts are $10 million apiece. You got to keep 10, 15 million spare for guys. We've only got 34 rostered for next season. You got another 19 to pay to get up to 53. Then your practice squad. It soon goes.
I'm doing it. See, folks, you know what's great about what we do here is we don't get angry if we disagree. We agree to disagree.
We don't tell each other what to do.
We don't have to point fingers and say, I told you so, I'm better than you, I know more than you, I'm the best in the world, I'm everything. We're not a communist Lions fan. We just don't do that over here. We enjoy talk and conversation, for sure. We like to have fun. And I see a lot of people right now having fun in the comment section with the Bears right now. Apparently, the Bears are the ones big talk. I really don't know why, in all honesty. The Bears, I want them to win a game, though. I'm not going to lie. I want to move up the draft. I want them to win one freaking game, man. Just win a game. I want to move up in that draft. We got that Rams pick, so I want them to win. I want them to win one game, just not the Lions game. Here we go. Smash. Hashtag Lions. Smash. Everyone is talking about the Jets D-line like we don't have a top 2 offensive line to stand up against them. 100%, man. 100%. Like everyone talks to the deep. Hey. Yeah, we understand you got a juggernaut. Well, we got an unstoppable force. We got an offensive line that is no joke. It's not no punk offensive line. It's not.
I mean, that Bills defensive line struggled to get to Jared Goff when we were playing them. I mean, and they've got a D-line that's probably just as good. I think they got, 1 or maybe 2 on the day? It wasn't many. Goff, for the most part, threw in complete comfort. And they don't realize this entire team blocks. The receivers, the tight ends, 6th lineman comes in, running backs block. And they're very disciplined and very good at it. So, yeah, I think they're in for a very rude awakening. I just think our offense is one of the most diverse in the entire NFL. And I don't think they realize that.
I got to ask this on my Facebook and other places. I missed the and again. And again. And again. And again. That was for you. I forget who said it. That was for you. As soon as I seen Rick C put and again, it could have been him himself. I'm not 100% sure because I forget. Ant-Man, why do the folks need to subscribe to Roar of the Lions UK?
Well, we might not be as good as you, Mike, but if you want to hear a different slant of things on the lines from a group of guys from across the Atlantic who maybe view the game a little bit differently, but we love the Lions just as much. Yeah, do come and check us out. We go live on Mondays with our game reviews, Thursdays with our game previews, Wednesday me and one of the other guys do a college football podcast. So yeah, we're a bit different to what you normally get. So come check us out if you get the opportunity.
Man, these guys are awesome. Check them out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Great channel for sure. And it's not just all Detroit Lions. They do the college podcast, in which I like, because I like talking draft prospects. That's what it's all about here. 15 more likes to 100. So before we close this show out, I want to say thank you guys. Smash that like button, and I'll leave you with this little song while we close this bad boy out. Adios.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.